What's up, y'all? It's your boy JD. On my way to work. Just got a question. Something's been bugging me. Why is it that we love other people so much, but it's so hard to love ourselves? Imagine if we loved ourselves the way we loved other people, or that just that one person in our life. Why is that? Isn't that weird? I don't know. But that's something that I've been practicing this time around. When I got clean this time, I didn't want it to be just like every other time. So I asked myself what I could do differently in my recovery this time that I haven't done all them other times that I tried to get clean. Because I tried to get clean, I couldn't even tell you how many times. You know, I made it 18 months one time, and I thought I was badass just because I just walked away from my addiction. But the problem was I didn't build a structure, and I didn't have a program running inside myself to protect myself from relapsing. So, first opportunity I got, where I came up with enough excuses and justified it in my head, made it all sound right, boom, went right back to it. This time, I have put more into loving myself than I think I've ever done in my life. I don't know why I'm just as ugly as before, but I put 100% into trying to better my health, my physical fitness, my mental. And up until this point, I've had a pretty decent run, I think. You know, came out to California, so immediately different people, places, and things. But when the problems started coming back, it didn't get any easier. The only thing is, I had all this structure set up around me to protect me from falling into the same old rut. I took the time for myself, dedicated to myself, and all that finally paid off. Because I don't feel my triggers like I used to. I know what it used to feel like to use. I know it used to feel good. I think that's the difference between my use of substances and my use of alcohol. Is when I use alcohol, I don't think I feel great. I think it just takes care of my voices in my head that tell me, you know, I'm a piece of shit, I'm not worth nothing, da-da-da. See, when I used opiates, not only did they cancel all that out, but they raised my endorphins to actually make me feel like I was a better person. That's the problem with using opiates these days. You know, for my tweaker friends out there, I know it's a little bit different for you guys, but I think once we finally make the decision to start loving ourselves instead of stop punishing ourselves, I think that that's where the building blocks start to come in. You know, that's where the hedge of protection starts to come into play. Because I didn't have a hedge of protection before. I literally had a hedge of liability built all around me. Because I was hanging out with the same friends, in the same place. I had no inspiration in my life. I think that's one of the first things that you have to do is change the people surrounding you. It's not that you don't love your old friends just as much as you do. It's just that you can't hang out and socialize like you used to. Not unless they change their ways, their activities, their mind state. You know, if your friends around you are changing too, then that's an inspiration. Go with it. But if everybody's staying the same, if nothing changes, nothing changes. And that's a fact. Just a fact of sobriety. You know? But I think even though I start punishing myself when things get rough, I built such a structure around my life that it holds me up when I fall. When my legs buckle from underneath me because I get weak, my foundation holds me up. That's the biggest thing. My conscience tells me whether I'm doing good or doing bad, I got to keep on going and sharing, going and listening, going and reaching out to people. And I think that's the biggest thing about working the program is they teach you how to be a better person, to where when you're out in public, you're out socializing, you're around your peers, around your family, when somebody's down, you naturally feel a magnetism to help that person. That's a beautiful thing about working a program. That's a beautiful thing about having a foundation. So, I don't know. I still don't have all the answers to all the questions in my head. Why it's so hard to love ourselves. But the more you do, the more it helps you stay in a serene mind state. Sometimes when that doesn't work, you just got to give it up to you know who. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And just for today, whoever made it through the last 24 with me, we're going to do it again, y'all. We made it. Just one day at a time. That's all that counts. That's all you got to do. The next right thing. Take that right foot, put it in front of the left foot, and keep on trucking. And you can sit back and say, you know what? I did it every day. You don't got to make it a year. You don't got to make it months and months and months. If you make it one day, you have succeeded in staying sober for long enough to be proud of yourself. And if ain't nobody told you they love you today, I do. And I truly mean that. Because if you're willing to fight for yourself, if you're willing to love yourself today, I'm willing to love you too. So, give it up to God, y'all. And you know what I always say? Stay locked in. Because as long as you locked in, your mind's in the right place. Have a good day, y'all. Till next time. Peace.